Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. Bethesda has released some major news on Wastelanders. We're getting a private test server next week, exclusively to test Wastelanders content. Here's everything you need to know about the server and how to get a chance to participate. The first week of 2020 was very quiet and we didn't really hear any news about Fallout 76, apart from Atomic Shop new entries and sales. The second week, on the other hand, has been quite the opposite. Bethesda has just revealed 2 new articles and revealed that they are releasing a private test server next week. The sign-up period is going on right now, and only a few lucky ones will be selected to join this experience, which will be focused on testing Wastelanders content. Everyone who gets selected will get a first-hand experience, the very first contact with all the upcoming survivors who are about to arrive to the wasteland of Fallout 76. But you can't really discuss anything you will experience. What a pity. There is nothing much to be done about that. It's a common part of the guidelines for any private testing. If you'd like to participate, or if you have already been selected, then I'm sure you don't want to miss the following details about the Wastelanders Private Test Server. Let's move on to the exciting news. So, when is this new private server coming live? The answer is very soon, next week on January 17. Some people seem to think the PTS is opening on the 14th though, but that's not the case. That's simply the deadline for the register period. You should also know that this private test is only available for PC players. If you're playing on console, you don't need to register to start with because you won't be able to participate, unless you have the game for PC too, of course. Moving on, you should keep in mind that the content you will experience is an early version of the Wastelanders DLC. There's a lot under development right now, and what you play in this test might end up changing later on. As such, if you're part of the few selected players for this experience, you should feel lucky to get this unique opportunity to access content that most players cannot. The main goal of this PTS is to gather feedback to improve the final version of the DLC. So if you cannot stand bugs, errors, and a lot of frustration, maybe you shouldn't volunteer to take part of this experience. Other than that, hope for the best while expecting the worst. Be prepared. As you probably know by now, you need to register in order to get a chance to join the private test experience. I'm leaving the link below the video if you have no idea where to go. Anyway, registering won't ensure that you will be selected. All we know about the selection process is that Bethesda is only looking for a few hundreds of players on PC. Mostly veterans, but this is the only way to get a chance to join this PTS. So if you haven't registered yet, make sure to do so before January 14. That's the deadline to sign up. To do so, you need a Bethesda account as obvious, and you need to enable the option to opt in to Bethesda's email communication under your account settings. Once you do this, you can sign up for the Wastelanders PTS. If you are selected, you will receive an email from Bethesda. That part I can show you because I haven't been selected, at least not so far. Well, fingers crossed. Back to the limited players point, Bethesda mentioned that not everyone who signs in will be selected. Their criteria has not been fully disclosed, and all we know about this is that they will try to select as many active and experienced players as possible. So I do believe that your character's level and in-game hours will help determine your selection. There are probably other factors too, or maybe it's just a random draft. I don't think we will ever know for sure. The essential point here is that only a few players can be selected. It's probably like winning the lottery, except your prize is a first-hand experience to future content on Fallout 76. Too bad your luck points won't be able to help you on this one. Oh well. Now, in case you get invited, it's crucial that you understand the meaning of a non-disclosure agreement or NCA. Everyone has to agree to the terms and conditions of one before accessing the private test server. This means that you won't be able to do much else than simply playing, reporting issues, and providing feedback. You are not allowed to stream, record, or even discuss details of your experience with others. I mean, you are free to do as you will, but later you will most likely face the consequences of breaching the agreement. In other words, you will have to deal with Bethesda's legal team. I suspect that this Wastelanders build will have a user ID watermark, like a lot of closed alphas and private tests do, in order to easily identify leakers. That could make sense here, but it is not confirmed that we'll have such thing here. At first, I thought this private test server was going to be the long-announced and promised test server for Fallout 76. You know, so we as a community can help them test major changes before they go live and avoid dreadful scandals like it happened with patch 11 and recently with patch 16, for example. As an attempt to fix a legendary effect, the entire gear system got broken and the attributes were all messed up whenever you would reload any weapon. Such things can be avoided with proper testing before releasing changes. Anyway, this Wastelanders build is really not the same as the public test server that has been announced last year. Bethesda has already confirmed that it is still under development and on the way. They are definitely two different server and game modes. Now, let's look into details about the PTS itself. You can progress as much as you would like. It will be saved only on the test server though. It won't carry on to adventure or private world servers. Once the Wastelanders DLC goes live, all your test progress will be erased. It won't be carried on into the official version of the game as expected. Finally, when you join the PTS, you can either start a new character, but that's not the only option. You will be able to clone or import your adventure characters if you wish. You don't need Fallout 1st to enter this experience, as a community manager confirmed over Reddit. Also, the progress or wipe actions in the PTS won't affect your adventure characters. They are separate servers, so don't worry about losing items beyond the test server if you choose to import characters. I hope this clarifies your doubts. I surely had some, but after a little research, I managed to find out everything I wanted. Talking about the PTS character progress and options at the start, there might be one or more wipes during this experience. Bethesda confirmed that this scenario might happen if necessary. This means that all your progress could be lost in the test server, which sounds obvious to me. Anyway, they also stated that they will do an announcement beforehand to let all the participants know about it, if it really comes to that. Make sure not to get attached to your new items in the Wastelanders test server. You never know when you're going to lose them. You've been advised here. I know that we are all very tired of the endless bugs and issues with Fallout 76. They have been part of the official experience since the very beginning. However, this is a test server and you should expect the worst here. You shouldn't engage into a test experience expecting to play something smooth, free of issues. Plus, Bethesda has already stated that this will be an incomplete version of Wastelanders. In fact, there's a lot of content being developed right now and major changes will most likely happen to the content you'll experience next week. So I suggest you to play with an open mind and remind yourself of the main focus of this experience. They want you to test the content and provide feedback. They are not expecting you to have the time of your life with this test server, so don't hope for it. If you're lucky, it might happen, but let's be honest here, that probably won't happen. We still have endless bugs in the official version, so hoping to find something different with Wastelanders in an early stage is basically creating false expectations. So don't do that to yourself. You probably are aware of the main goal of this private test server. If not from Bethesda, then from me. I've been repeating it over and over on purpose. Now, we know a little bit more here. Besides bug reporting, Bethesda is also expecting you, if you are selected of course, to provide different types of feedback, such as responding to surveys and participating in group discussions. They want to know your opinion about certain features and your experience in general, which is a great and positive sign. Let's just hope they will be able to take that feedback into consideration to fix broken features and to adjust the content before the final release of Wastelanders. We are getting a new patch in a few days, that's right. Patch 17 is coming live, but this time we won't see a lot of patch notes. That's because this is a pre-Wastelanders patch. Bethesda will be doing a lot of behind-the-scenes preparations for what's about to come to the PTS and ultimately to the base game. We can expect a bunch of fixes and improvement lines for this patch. Other than that, it will remain a mystery for data miners to solve. Maybe. Bethesda also mentioned that the following patches after 17 will return to normal in terms of longer notes. For now, let's just hope this pre-Wastelanders patch won't mess up anything else. It wouldn't surprise me if it did though. I've heard from a few people who have been invited to participate in the PTS that the game is over 60 gigabytes to download. If you are selected to join, you will have to download the game again, sort of. Right now, Fallout 76 is about 75 gigabytes, and with Wastelanders being the most extensive DLC to date, it would perfectly explain an additional 60 gigabytes. I mean, we are getting dozens of NPCs with new missions, dialogue options, new gear, new enemies, new locations, new everything, basically. So it does make sense, at least to me, but maybe the client will fetch parts from both servers and the size will end up being different than what I am imagining here right now. This point is not 100% confirmed, but it can give you a clear idea of what to expect or what to download if you end up getting invited. There is another double experience event going on right now, and it ends tomorrow on January 13. Make sure to take advantage of this bonus to level up faster with your main character or alts. If you don't know how to boost your experience to 200% to make your life a little bit easier, then feel free to check my recent guide that shows you how to use this experience bonus to go beyond the expectations. It's a great time to farm levels and prepare your build for Wastelanders. In case you feel like you need some adjustments to your attributes, don't forget that dialogue options can change depending on your attributes. So there you go. Is that enough news for you? I hope you learned something new here today. We are coming closer and closer to the third DLC, but before any of us gets to experience it, a few selected players will have the privilege to play and help Bethesda improve the content before it reaches everybody else. What do you think about this Wastelanders Private Test Server? Would you like to get an invite? Did you get invited already? Let me know everything in the comment section below. I didn't receive an invite just yet, and I probably won't, but who knows what the future reserves. I am Marta Brancu. Thank you so much for watching until this point. If you just got here, then consider to subscribe for more Fallout 76 content like this, and click on the bell button too, so you don't miss any future videos. I have a Patreon page if you'd like to support me even further. I have tiers for everyone. The link is in the description box as usual. That's everything for now. Thank you again for all your support. You guys are amazing. I will see you soon in the next video. Until then, take care. Adeus. Bye bye.